let's review programmatic advertising and programmatic job advertising. There are some key similarities and differences that are helpful to be aware of. Programmatic advertising is an automated system of buying and selling digital ad inventory in real time. Programmatic job advertising is a semi-automated, pay-per-performance, feed-based job ad buying. Both systems of advertising use automation to facilitate the transaction of an ad placement between an advertiser and a publisher. And like we reviewed before, programmatic job advertising attempts to do most of what programmatic advertising does for job ads. And it's been evolving rapidly over the past several years to get closer and closer to a truly programmatic advertising system. Effectively, programmatic job advertising platforms can perform a few key similar functions to demand-side platforms, or DSPs, and DMPs. Programmatic job advertising still lacks features and tools available in many digital channels in programmatic advertising, like real-time bidding, DSPs, SSPs, DMPs, user-level audience targeting and suppression, second price auctions, standardized metric definitions, traffic source transparency, whitelists and blacklists, and so many more. Latency in the context of programmatic job advertising is the delay of information shared between the platform, job site, and employer or applicant. There are numerous pieces of information that are impacted by latency, including ad performance metrics that correspond to a billable event, like a click or apply, and changes to job ad details included within a feed, so your content or your bid. Latency of ad performance metrics can be problematic when managing ad spend within a budget, reconciling ad spend, or controlling content distribution and bid accuracy. Think of it like a game of telephone, when information travels from source to source to source, and each website has their own capabilities that enable them to comply with moving that information with an agreed-upon window of time, also an SLA. Assuming that everything goes as planned, all players in this game of telephone provide their information and move things along within their SLA. But let's talk through an example. An employer updates job ads within their programmatic job advertising platform. From here, the platform uses automation to generate and distribute a feed of jobs and sends that feed to publishers. Some publishers are able to index that feed within the hour. Others may take upwards of 24 to 48 hours to index those new jobs. There's a full spectrum of sites whose capabilities fall somewhere in between. Because of this issue, it's challenging to keep up with where everyone is within this game of telephone, especially when there's syndication of networks of sites. This example of refreshing a feed of jobs is so commonplace in today's programmatic job advertising ecosystem, and is only one example of the impact of latency. Would you choose to spend your recruitment budget serving an ad to someone who already applied to that advertised role? No. In programmatic advertising, marketers utilize a DMP to segment existing users, clients, or customers into a suppression list. Audience suppression in programmatic job advertising would prevent unnecessary ad spending on candidates who have already applied to the role being advertised. When job boards and programmatic job advertising platforms build necessary capabilities that could accommodate audience suppression, the industry will have taken a significant step forward in closing that gap between programmatic advertising and programmatic job advertising. Another limitation of programmatic job advertising is the inability to create blacklists and whitelists. A blacklist is a list of websites set by an advertiser where they do not want their ads to be served. A whitelist is the inverse, a list of websites that an advertiser chooses to include in their media buying strategy. Most job boards and recruitment sites who syndicate job ads to a network of other websites do not have the capability or the willingness to allow an advertiser to set a blacklist or a whitelist.